What comes to your mind when I say the phrase, "Where's the beef?" If you were like me, you might remember Wendy's slogan years back that asked customers that same question. Their aim in asking this question was to accuse other fast food hamburger joints for selling hamburgers with little amounts of beef. However, there is another popular meaning behind this question, and some of you probably haven't heard of it before. This other meaning is referring to a technique in improving one's basketball shooting skills and making oneself a better all-around basketball player. The B.E.F method has been regarded as one of the best methods in producing effective and consistent basketball shooters. Whenever children begin learning about the game of basketball, the popular B.E.F technique is instilled in them, and if taught the right way, will be appreciated every time they step out on the basketball court. There are 4 sections to discuss over the B.E.F acronym that will benefit whoever puts them into practice. They are balance, eyes, elbows, and follow through. I'll describe each section and what must be done to successfully master the section, thus producing a better basketball shooter. Let's begin with the first part of the technique, B for balance. Jerry Cross, Don Meyer, and Jerry Meyer, authors of Basketball Skills and Drills, define balance as being the most important foundation of every shot. BB&T's website states that one must establish the triple threat stance to achieve full balance. This is an example of the triple threat stance. He is ready to do one of 3 things: shoot, dribble, or pass. First thing one must do to achieve the triple threat stance is face the basket by squaring your body up to it. Secondly, your body must be balanced and stable. To check for full balance, Kent Jantz, the founder of RTP Sports Camps, mentioned that while coaching during practice, he may walk up to a player and give him or her a little nudge. If someone wobbles, it's most likely a sign he or she needs to work on balancing. Mark Barnes, a former sports columnist for the Warren Tribune in Ohio, states a good drill in keeping good balance is to teach players to go straight up and down by making a circle around their body. After jumping or shooting, the players should land in the same circle. Thirdly, the player's knees should be slightly bent. It is necessary to bend the knees because one will be able to obtain a more centered body. You will also be able to use your whole body while shooting, not just your arms. Lastly, both hands need to be on the ball in triple threat stance for protection. The feet must be set to shoot. George Lehman establishes the importance of keeping one's dominant foot slightly in front when the feet are set. This usually comes pretty natural because it feels comfortable. Kevin Eastman, longtime basketball coach, states, "The feet make the J's," signifying how crucial setting one's feet actually can be. Now that the importance of balance has been addressed, we must now turn our attention to the second part of the acronym, E for eyes. The eyes are important during the whole course of a basketball game. It is crucial to see everything and look at the whole floor, but when shooting, it is necessary to look at nothing but the rim. One thing that must be happening during the process of a shot is setting one's eyes on any part of the rim and focusing on that one spot. Lehman mentioned that one should never follow the ball with one's eyes, but to instead keep eyes on the basket even after the shot is released. Mark Barnes gave information on a simple drill that practices shooting without a ball to get the mind set on the rim and nothing else. Dan Frisbee once stated, "Basketball is like photography. If you don't focus, all you have is the negative." I think that is a perfect quote to describe how important the eyes and focusing actually is during the process of a shot. The next part of the B.E.F shooting technique also deals with a part of the body. The second E stands for elbow. It is key to watch the shooter's dominant elbow, as one of the most common problems for basketball players is having one's elbow either out to the side or down by their waist, thus producing bad form. The first problem many players have is having their shooting elbow out towards the side of their body. In order to take care of that problem, a player should practice keeping the elbow straight under the ball. The ball will then be more inclined to rest on the pads of a player's fingers, which is the proper form. A good drill that my coach gave me when I had problems with my elbow was to stand in front of the basket and try to shoot it correctly, using one arm. The other problem many people have with their elbow is dropping it low to their hips. This can cause a big problem because when people do drop their elbow that far, they have a tendency to push the ball towards the basket, making it look quite unusual. The other problem that arises when people drop their elbow is the lack of protection one may have by doing so. The ball can be easily stolen by an opponent, which can be a sign of a high turnover, low scoring rate. Now that we've looked at how balance, eyes, and elbows play a role in our shooting capabilities, let's look at the last part of the acronym, F, which stands for follow through. The follow-through is sometimes recognized as the most critical part of the B.E.F model, including a full extension of the arm and a locked elbow. The first thing you need to know is only the shooting hand should follow through. The other hand, one guide's hand, aids in stability, but when released, it does not move. Keep it froze. If the guide hand does aid in shooting, the ball will be pushed and usually results in a flat shot. Shoot up, not out. John Bunn, a Naismith Hall of Fame coach, thought the perfect release angle of one's arm should be around 60 degrees, causing an arch shot. He also reported that there were more missed shots due to being too short than too long. Techniques that are popular in creating a correct follow-through include the gooseneck and the cookie jar method. In the gooseneck model, one's arm is the gooseneck, while one's snap-down hand is the goose beak. The cookie jar method describes a follow-through that looks like a little kid reaching up high for a cookie in a cookie jar. Arm is extended, the wrist is snapped down, and the fingers are pointed to the ground. As you can now tell, there are different meanings behind the question, where's the beef? Some people might simply be referring to greasy hamburger patties, but then there are others who might be talking about the shooting technique of basketball players. Let's review the 4 sections that comprise this term, beef. First, the basketball player must obtain a sense of balance. Second, one's eyes must be focused solely on the rim. Third, the elbow must be in towards one's body and up out of the reach of opponents. Lastly, the basketball player must show a correct follow-through with full extension and a snap-down wrist. As George Lehman states, outstanding shooters are made through repetition and hard work, not born. Now with all of these terms identified and described, you can enjoy watching a basketball game more due to knowing all the principles that make up a great shooter.